Welcome along to episode 139 of the Groan Zone. It feels like an eternity since the last episode. Maybe it's the heat messing with my brain because it has only been a week. I've been sweating harder than a shoplifter in the pick and mix aisle in a sweet shop. Had my fan on full blast at home and at work. Trying to keep my brain cool has allowed me to write this groan tent filled episode in time for recording today, which is Friday, and I bet Saturday is just as sweltering. But groaners, starting us off for another week is my groans. Endless train delays. Why is it they seem to pick the hottest days to pile on delays? You get agitated when you just want to get home. It's worse when they don't give you a time of when a train will arrive. See, buses and trains have things in common when ran by schmucks. When your pillow is too hot. I love having a cold pillow pre-sleep, as when it's hot, my head feels all uncomfortable and I just can't get comfortable or rested. I must have two cold pillows. I'd put my pillows in the fridge, if I could. When companies use a slogan, the best in the UK 2025. So I'm with EE, and they claim to be the best mobile phone and broadband provider. Other companies also say the same thing. How can you be the best or the cheapest? Lies. I bet you're reporting to a big fat kingpin. You're all far from the best. That's my groans torched to ashes for another week as the groany gusts from the zone blows them away. Audience groan to come later in the show. But now, let's ask the age-old question of why oh why? Strange brain workings. A few weeks back we talked about foreign language syndrome. Well, a few episodes back really. But here is another way at how weird and wonderful the human brain can really be. In 2006, a man named Derek Amato was involved in a diving incident that caused him to smack his head on the end of a pool. This gave him a severe concussion, 35% hair loss, and some memory issues. However, the accident also allowed his brain to tune into music where he can say it fluidly when he closes his eyes. Through this skill, or is it a gift, he became a genius-level composer. This usually takes a lifetime of practice. He is now considered one of the lucky ones when it comes to head trauma. Strange brain workings, gifted talents. I just have to ask, why oh why? Let's have a game now with Don't Quote Me on That. Yep, it's Test Your Movie Knowledge time, groaners. Groaners live, shout it at the end. Groaners at home, shout it wherever you like. Live, I'm sorry, I'll be reading the quote. Those at home, I'll have the clip ready for you. Round one.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
This 80s comedy classic just recently got a sequel announced. Whilst PG rated, the film managed to smuggle in an F-bomb in the script. And Mel Brooks both directs and stars in the movie. Groaners live, give me your guesses please. And I'm not going to say them out loud in case it gives it away for the groaners playing along at home. We do have some guesses coming in. We do have a couple coming in. Yep, someone's got it there. Another one's got it, another one's got it. Another one's got it. Someone's way out on a limb there with a guess they've just given in. I'm going to say that one because it's just ridiculous. Someone said Blazing Saddles. The clue is in the facts, groaner. It's 80s, not 70s. We'll leave that there. Right, gonna cut that bit off now. We're moving on to round number 2.
Manners? Make it. Man.
know what that means. Then let me teach you a lesson.
This movie is a blatant take on the James Bond movies, but does it with class. It also spawned 2 following movies that I don't think did so well. The film stars Samuel L. Jackson as a megalomaniac bad guy, and lastly, the church fight action sequence took 7 days to shoot, whilst the underwater dormitory sequence was complex and complicated to film and took around about a week and a half to complete. Groaners Live, give me your guesses please. Those at home, shout out wherever you like. What you got, Groaners Live? Oh, someone's put in the wrong movie! The first bit's right, but the second part's wrong. You've got it wrong there, Groaner. I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to say to you on that one. I'm really, really sorry. Someone's wrote James Bond. Right, are you just taking the mick out of me now, Groaner? Come on. Yeah, but it could be any James Bond. I suppose you're probably right, yes. But it's more of a James Bond spoof, yet not a spoof. Kind of. Not a rip-off either. Oh, okay. With a few more guesses there, we'll find out later if they got it right or wrong. Round 3. This is going to be a bit difficult to read out, Groaners, so I've given you the character names as well, so you might get it from this. Artemis to Shaw. Shaw? Shaw to Artemis. What? Do I have to wear a sign saying that I'm 11 years old? Shoot me first. No thanks. Steven Spielberg is reported as saying this was his 3rd most difficult film to make to date. The film features many cameos from gaming and film legends such as King Kong, Back to the Future and The Iron Giant. A lot of the movie is set in VR. The real life part of the movie is set in 2045. Groaners Live, give me your guesses please. Those at home, you've probably yelled out already. I hope you have. We have a lot of people getting into a Play Along Live. They know. And they really need a sequel. Although the sequel would have had a pants name, because that just sounds rubbish. What the sequel name would have been. You'll find out when the answers come along. But I'm gonna snipe it off there, Groaners. Okay. The answers will come later, as I just said there. We move over to Creepy Corner now, as Admin Nicole graces us with another story with Creepy Corner. Episode 139 story is called One's Pain is Another's Joy. Valencia watched as the primal of life pieced himself back together. That same twisted grin of how happy he was who'd been whatever he was, yet his eyes were hollow. She once heard that eyes were the window to the soul, but this man had no soul. Like the fates had said, he is not what he once was. One thing stood out to her though, he was a primal, so by definition, he should be immortal, yet the way he looks, this man was not immortal. That's when the primal of light showed up, immediately placed himself in front of Viola to protect her. Valencia shot her a questioning look, and she was unsure what to say, but she knew he was on their side now. That was enough. I remember when it happened, the primal of light seeks enjoyment and torture and suffering, but to be immortal as we are, it wasn't enough for him. He experimented on himself to destroy the immortality that he possessed. He always said torture tastes sweeter when you don't want forever to enjoy it. In the end, he couldn't get rid of it, but he found a way to pass it on. I believe he gave it to a raven that was passing by. It might even be one of yours. He passed on his immortality so he could enjoy torturing others more. He said the taste was undeniably superior, the Primal of Light explained. The massive souls, tortured and hungry for revenge, would not wait much longer. Valencia got the old man out of the way as he tried to assure her he would be fine. Not much longer to wait, he would say. She knew what it would do to him if he had to kill his wife. That's why she wanted to bear that burden for him. No matter how brave he seemed, he knew killing her would mean killing himself all over again. For now, all she could do was protect him from somewhere safe. Then Grimm stepped forward. He would deal with Lionel and Dr. Quack. One final mystery of his yet to be revealed. As is famously said, one mystery left to be revealed, one final secret left to be told. Grimm turned around and looked at Damien. He would deal with Lionel and Dr. Quack, while Damien lets the souls deal with the primal of life. They may not remember who they are, but perhaps vengeance may be enough to finally free their souls of the animosity that plagued them all these years. He then turned to Viola and sighed. This was his moment, his one final secret. He paused for a moment before meeting her gaze. Help me deal with Lionel and Dr. Quack. This will be the last time you can ever get revenge for your mother, he said. Viola wanted to know what he meant. She needed to. Grim never lied. Her mother's death was an accident and a result of the fates. What he never told her was that him being there was a trap. Choosing that house out of all around him was also a trap for him. Her mother was meant to die, but not by nature's laws. She was not supposed to die for many years at that point. The reason he was there on that street out of all the others was an alarm. A death they couldn't predict. One that wasn't meant to happen. The only way that would be possible is if it was either a sacrifice or a murder. Yet even most murders are planned, which is what made this one all the more interesting. It's very rare to get an alert for such a thing that Grim was convinced to check it out for himself. That street, Elm Street. A man was murdered for sure, but not by normal means. Within minutes he sensed death covering the entire street. Everyone on Elm Street dropped dead within seconds of his arrival, all but one house. The house that Viola and her mother lived in. That's when it happened. The fire spread out of nowhere with no sign of a cause in sight. He thought he could save them, but the fire kept raging. Nothing he could do was putting it out, not even his scythe. Nothing should be able to ignore a death scythe. The fire was caused by the fates, but that was something he would later learn. He could only save one of them, no matter how hard he tried. He thought of erasing the young girl's memory, but that wouldn't have been fair to her. He couldn't save the mother, something wouldn't let him. So he made the girl his responsibility. He would watch over her in her mother's place and guide her from afar. Nothing could replace her mother's love, but he could guide her to finding a new family that could love her just as much. When he returned to the factory, he realised he was betrayed by one of his own. Sent to that street on purpose with a fake alarm. Grim knew something was amiss and immediately ran to check on the hourglass room. Everyone on that street, except that woman in the fire. The hourglasses were all stolen. Lionel and Dr. Quack are responsible for what happened. They worked with the fates to lure me to the street you lived on, so the one who betrayed me could let them into the factory. They stole the hourglasses of everyone on your street and set your house on fire to make it easy for the fates to take control. The reason I can't touch these two, and the reason behind their seeming immortality, is because those stolen hourglasses are inside them. They are keeping themselves alive with the stolen life force of all those people. Help me take back what was stolen and finally give them and your mother peace, he explained. Nicole, I've gotta ask, are Quack and Lionel ever gonna get their comeuppance? I truly hope so. Well written once again. Now Groaners, I've had my turn to groan, as I always do, but we have more from one of you once again with the audience groan. And yet again, Julie Godlover has been in touch once again, and she groans. I really hate husbands who nick the TV remote off you and turn the telly over when you're watching something. Oh yes, my dad did that to me and my mum all the time. Then he'd fall asleep holding the remote like some kind of TV remote holding golem. Good groan. If you want to send a groan in, or any kind of groan content that you think could add to the show, even your ideas, you can do so on a vast number of ways. You can comment on any platform that you listen on, be it YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, and we'll see your comment and we'll pick it up. You can drop an email off to thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook Messenger, that's Nicole Amos for admin Nicole, and for myself, it's Mystery Groaner. Speaking of Facebook, you can comment on Facebook groups, search up the Groan Zone Podcast Facebook group and join in the fun from there. You can also come on Discord under the Groan Zone Podcast, where we usually record at 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time every Friday, but you can leave messages there, comments there, the whole kit and caboodle. And that, Groaners, is how you get in contact with the show. Moving on. We've had more groans, but now we need more games. With Give Me the Question. As always, I'll give you the answer, Groaners, but you must give me the right question. Round 1. Your answer is a floater. Your questions are, and anyone laughing out there when I said floater is really, really immature. Your questions are A. What is a defensive play in water polo? B. What is a type of serve in volleyball? Or C. What balls did they use to play football, that's soccer, to cut down costs in the 1920s? Go Groaners Live, give your answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. We've had a glut of A's, B's, and C's coming in. We have a spread. It's not even spread, but we've had a spread across the board. Any more? No, just a couple more A's. Moving on. Round number 2. Your answer is shinty. Your questions are A. What was the still played to this day medieval sport of shin kicking called back when it was invented? B. What is the affectionate term for a sea harbour tramp in some South African countries? Or C. What is the national sport of Scotland? Go Groaners Live, answers please, well questions please. Groaners at home, you do the same, you know what to do. We have a split of B's and C's finding their groaners. Any more? Another B, another C, and another C. Okay, moving on. Last round. Your answer is wife carrying. Your questions are A. What obscure British tradition in southern UK involves obstacle courses? B. What is illegal in Nepal after the wedding? Or C. What are you not allowed to do in Mexico after a certain time unless you're indoors? Go Groaners Live, give me your questions please. Go home, you know what to do. We've had another split. A load of A's and a load of C's. And someone's made me out to be a liar because as soon as I said that, they put a B down. We've had a kind of spread there on the last round of Gimme the Question. Okay, the correct questions will come later as we now launch into more sections of the show. We've done a lot of zeros recently, so I had to come up with a hero for once. Yep, it's Hero of the Week. This week's hero nomination goes up to Doodle the dog in Southern California. Now, I'm not sure about the breed, etc., of the dog, but it stands up to a bear entering its home. This dog had some serious brass cojones to do that to a bear that could have killed it in a heartbeat. Looked like no one was hurt either. After sounding the alarm and a tense standoff, Doodle did run off somewhere in the house whilst the bear also ran off. Nice one, Doodle. And now, as always with the games on the Groan Zone, you need luck. And with luck comes this section. It's time for Oh Lucky! I can be a sound sleeper, but I also snore like a machine gun. Waking me up in the morning can be such a pain in the backside, but this guy here took it to another level. Mr. Hellberg lives in Norway and doesn't answer his door at certain times. However, his next door neighbour was banging on the door incessantly. His neighbourhood came to check on him. Why? A cargo ship had crashed through his house, missing where he was sleeping by meters. His neighbour was just as shocked as he was, seeing that he was unharmed. Definitely a case for Oh Lucky, if ever there was one. And speaking of luck, Groaners, you'll need luck for this next game. Yes, you thought you'd escaped, but no, it's time for Talking Nonsense. This is the reverse one, Groaners, and is usually recorded after the show. Round 1. It makes us all hot and bothered, and UK gets them now and again. Your nonsense is a fairy. Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. Round number 2. America has them, and part of its religious name is when you are sounding off about something. Your nonsense is a hush. Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. Last round, round 3. It is a sweet around the world, and part of its expression is you park it when you're on the toilet. your nonsense is stuff. Pause here, groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. The game answers are coming soon, but to torture you for one more week, here is Admin Nicoles' Anagram Anxiety. In light of the last one being easy enough that I got it, Nicoles shot the difficulty level right up. Sorry, groaners, you could say it's my fault. Anagram, Private Katana, Marines, Rajah, Vow. This anagram will be on Discord and Facebook as well as be on the episode description page. Your clue is a railway station in India. Yep, I don't have a sudden clue. Grats if you get it, because you clearly know geography and railway station names. The answer, as stated, will come next week. Speaking of answers, here we go. Who the hell am I? From last week, your answer was Spawn. Talking nonsense. For round 1, your nonsense was Heatwave. For round 2, your nonsense was a preacher, hence the little part saying preach. And round 3, your nonsense was fudge. Well done if you unreversed any of those from gibberish to common English. Moving us along, don't quote me on that. Round 1, the movie was Spaceballs. Round 2, the movie was Kingsman, the Secret Service. And round 3, the movie was Ready Player One. And yes, Ready Player 2 would be a bad title for a sequel. Last game, give me the question. Round 1, your answer was a floater. Your correct question was B. A jump floater serve is apparently really hard to do in volleyball. Round 2, your answer was shinty. Your correct question was C. What is the national sport of Scotland? It's actually a fast-paced, full-contact team sport played with a curved stick called a caiman and a small ball. Kind of like hockey really, but with different rules and traditions. And last round, round 3, your answer was wife carrying. Your correct question was A. What obscure British tradition in southern UK involves obstacle courses? It also has hay bales and water hazards amongst other things on the obstacle course. On that note, Groaners, we hope you had fun and scored points along the way. We'll be back next week. Take care. Bye bye. For now, all she could do was protect him from somewhere from one final mystery of his yet to be. He could only save one of them, no matter how hard he tried. He could only